George and Martha, Round and Round by James Marshall. Three stories about the best of friends. Story number 1, The Clock. George gave Martha a present for her birthday. "It's a cuckoo clock," said George. "So I see," said Martha. "It's nice and loud," said George. "So I hear," said Martha. "Do you like it?" asked George. "Oh, yes, indeed," said Martha. But to tell the truth, the cuckoo clocks got on Martha's nerves." The next day George went to Martha's house. Martha was not at home, and the cuckoo clock was not on the wall. "Maybe she likes it so much she took it with her," said George. Just then he heard a faint cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. To George's surprise, the cuckoo clock was at the bottom of Martha's laundry basket. When Martha returned, she couldn't look George in the eye. "It must have fallen in by mistake," she said. "I do hope it isn't broken." "Not at all," said George. "The paint isn't even chipped. The clock works just dandy, and the cuckoo hasn't lost its splendid voice." "Would you like to borrow it?" asked Martha. George was delighted. He found just the right spot for it, too. "Wasn't that considerate of Martha to lend me her clock?" thought George. "Cuckoo," said the clock. Story number 2, The Trip. George invited Martha on an ocean cruise. "Is this the boat?" said Martha. "Use your imagination," said George. "I'll try," said Martha. Very soon it was raining cats and dogs. "This is unpleasant," said Martha. "Use your imagination," said George. "Think of it as a thrilling storm at sea." "I'll try," said Martha. "Lunch is served," said George, and he gave Martha a soggy cracker. Martha was not impressed. "Use your imagination," said George. "Oh, looky," said Martha. "What a pretty shark!" "A shark!" cried George. George took a spill. "But where's the shark?" he said. "Really," said Martha, "you must learn to use your imagination." Story number 3, The Artist. George was painting in oils. "The ocean doesn't look right," said Martha. "Add some more blue, and that sand looks all wrong." "Add a bit more yellow, please," said George. "Artists don't like interference." But Martha just couldn't help herself. "Those palm trees look funny," she said. "That does it," said George. "See if you can do better." And he went off in a huff. My," said Martha. "Some artists are so touchy." And she began to make a few little improvements. When George returned, Martha proudly displayed the painting. George was flabbergasted. "You ruined it," he cried. "I'm sorry you feel that way," said Martha. "I like it." Martha was one of those artists who aren't a bit touchy.